Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Chris Register, and for those of you that know me, hello. For the ones that don't know me and wondering who the heck I am, well, nice to meet you. I decided to make this video. It's July 1st, 2016, late at night. It's a Friday. I just got home from work not too long ago from trying to make some things happen, and I said, I'm gonna make me a video, and we're gonna talk a little bit about life and just for people to have a better, maybe if I can help you have a different perspective on life and to see things differently. And if it can help you out, that's my objective, to help you out and to enlighten you. And we're going to talk about four key areas. I was inspired by Tai Lopez about these areas, and he calls it the four pillars. And I'm kind of adopting that as well because I think it's a good way to look at it. And it's health, wealth, love, and happiness, or fulfillment, whichever you want to call it. And there's people out there watching this video right now, and you're fighting for your health, right? There's people out there right now fighting for some wealth, pay bills just to get by. Same thing with your love. Your love life might be crashing. Someone just broke up with you. Your heart just got shattered. Going through a divorce. It's tough. This is life. And these are the four main areas, well, the three main pillars, and also the fourth one would be your fulfillment and your happiness in life. And I wanted to talk to you guys about that so you guys can look at life a little bit differently and see it from a different perspective. Now, where did I get all this information from? I gathered it from a lot of different sources. I'm really big on reading, and I'm also big on watching like motivational videos and things like that. And just educated myself. I'm a knowledge is power guy, but I don't like to look at that and say that quote as much anymore. Knowledge is power, because you can have a lot of knowledge, but if you don't use it, it's kind of worthless. I look at it as like a gun without a trigger. You're all loaded. You got all this information, but you can't do nothing with it. So I like to obviously pass information along or use the knowledge I obtain to make a positive impact on others and on the world. It's just kind of who I am and a part of my purpose, which I think I discovered. I'm trying to figure it out a little bit more, but it's something I'm going after in life and trying to maximize myself. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a real life person here. I've actually created a video about 2 years ago. I think it was about 2 years ago. Yeah, August of 2014, and here we are in 2015. I'm sorry, 2016. It's July 1st, 2016, and I was chasing a goal, and I called it out in that video, and I actually said this is what I'm going to do, and here I am later, and I haven't achieved it yet, and I'm still going after it, right? But that's just my one pillar of wealth. And if you look at my health pillar, which is another strong, which is to me the most important, is your health, because if you don't have that, you can't do nothing. And I had to fight for that. It wasn't easy. It didn't come to me easy. And a lot of you out there might be fighting with that. You got obviously cancer and stuff like that's big. There's a lot of different diseases out there. Disease, you got to think about it. Your body is not at ease, dis-ease. You got to look at disease and you got to ask yourself and say, well, what am I doing wrong? Well, you got to get information in these areas to become better and to live in a more fulfilling life and to have the good life that I've learned from Tai Lopez to talk about health, wealth, love, and fulfillment. And you got to look at those categories and grade yourself from 1 to 10 and then divide it by 4, and that'll tell you what kind of life you're living. And I think that's something that everyone should look at and say, you know what, that's a different way to look at life, and that's not actually a bad thing to do. And you know what, I think it's helpful. It'll help me understand where I'm lacking and where I'm strong at. So let's look at the first one. Let's look at health. Why is it the most important one? Well, if you don't have it, the others don't even matter. The other pillars, the other areas, those categories. But the health, you got to understand. You need to go obtain information on how the human body was operated. One of the things I wish that we were taught more so in school, and not just like the health, like a health class or something that tells you, eat this, eat that, just how the body was designed to run on. And it's so important that they should beat it into our heads. But we live in America, and it's a lot of money driven things, and when you go to eat And like, for example, with me, when I grew up, I didn't know McDonald's wasn't good for you. I thought, hamburger, fries, as long as you're eating Taco Bell, this stuff, it's available and everyone's doing it, so it must be fine. No, that stuff promotes disease. I mean, it's really, to me, it's kind of common sense if you really think about it. You're like, okay, well, all this stuff is got injected, all this crap, and you got preservatives, and you got all, it's just a cheaper grade, and you're putting that in your body and say, hey, run on that. Well, let me tell you something about the body. The body is actually super, super impressive. It's super amazing in the way that, obviously, if you cut yourself, it can heal. It heals itself. And whenever there's something that maybe you intake that hamburger that you shouldn't be eating, it doesn't alarm you. It doesn't tell you and give you all these symptoms. Imagine if you ate that hamburger from McDonald's. Sorry, McDonald's, I'm going to throw you under the bus. But if you ate that hamburger and you got a headache instantly, which probably happens to some people, or it made you feel so sick that you threw up instantly, you probably wouldn't eat it no more, right? Because your body is like, I don't want this. I can't run on this. This is tough for me to break down and to deal with. I got to process this and get your liver and stuff just to get it out of your body and get that crap out. But it doesn't do that. It doesn't give you any big warning signs. You know what it does? It deals with it, and it doesn't cause any symptoms. And you live life like, oh, I feel good. But secretly, your body is under a war. It's under a battle. You keep giving it that same crap, and you're feeling fine because it's so good. It's calming all those symptoms down, and you're just actually running through life thinking everything's fine until what happens? Boom. Something hits you. You start having symptoms. Well, what happened? Well, you beat your body down. You kept giving it something it didn't want because you weren't educated enough to know that your body shouldn't be running on that. If a car runs on, gasoline, and if you put anything else in that tank, it's going to give it some trouble. Your body is the same way. Think about what you're putting in your body. So next thing you know, you do that and you get diabetes. Bam, it hits you. And you're like, well, and you go to the doctor. What do? They tell you, oh, well, it's in your family. It's in your genes. Look, you caused it. You might have that gene or, that history in your family, but you opened it up. You turned the key. You got that thing started by what you did, because you can easily tweak that. I look at it like people on blood pressure medicine trying to lower their blood pressure. And I'm like, oh, yeah, doctor put me on a pill. I'm like, pill? Why don't you just change your diet? I mean, you're the one causing that. You're causing it. And a lot of people might not want to hear this, but it's the truth. You gotta stop doing this to yourself. Go educate yourself and figure out what you should be putting in your body. It's tough out here, especially in America. You drive around and you want to eat something healthy, good luck. It's tough. Stuff is loaded with sodium and stuff like that. That obviously, go look at if you want to be on a good cardiac diet and you want to lower your blood pressure and stuff. What do they tell you? What do you do? Lower your sodium. Drop that sodium down. It'll change. It'll drop it. Trust me, it'll control it. So it just shows you that whatever you put in your body is extremely important. And I highly recommend you educating yourself on what the body was designed to run on, and stop putting that crap in your body and start taking life a little bit serious, because you're going to spend money. You might be saving by going to this cheap place to eat, but then you get hooked on, you have to go on medication and you got all these pills every month and you got to go pick up the prescription and you're spending money there. So go spend more money and eat healthier, and then you won't have to be on those prescriptions. Now, there are going to be times where obviously you might get hit with an illness. That's unfortunate. Let's say you got hit with cancer, but I have answers for that stuff too, especially the breast cancer thing. It bothers me that we celebrate October and it's a big month, and all these poor women having like my aunt just had, what's it called, a mastectomy. And I'm like, God, this is just terrible. I'm like, so I did a lot of research because I had some health challenges when I was real young, at we'll call it my early 20s. I had my life almost taken from me, and I went to bed one night thinking I was gonna die, and I wasn't waking up. And I say it real easily like that, but if I told you the story, you'd be like, wow, Chris, that's tough. I'm like, yeah, I went to bed one night. It was at my grandmother's house, thinking, I put up a fight, I put up a battle, but I'm not gonna wake up tonight. And I ended up going to sleep that night, but I woke up and I had another shot, and I kept fighting, and it got me where I'm at today. And while it got me here to where I'm at today, I obtained a lot of information. I had to fight for my health to get where I'm at. And while I was going through what I was going through, I discovered and learned a lot about things that maybe didn't even affect me, like even it has to do with like autism and stuff, like ways to treat it, because I was trying to get my body back better. Like my thyroid and stuff went out of me, all this crap. And I read a lot about iodine, and you got, probably the FDA like, oh, I don't want you guys talking about that. It's hokey. Of course they don't. They want you to be spending, and the doctors too, because they're trained by, the government, America, big pharma and stuff, to push pills and to, calm symptoms down, and they don't really go after the root cause and try to shut that down, which would obviously they stop a lot of the medication. But look into iodine. I take iodine every day. And I was told that I had hypothyroidism and I have Hashimoto's disease. I was on Synthroid and all that stuff. I've tried them all. Not on any anymore. And I'm supposed to be, real obese? No, I'm in really good shape and I got a lot of energy. And I take iodine and selenium every day. If you go on Amazon.com and type in Iodoral, which is IODORAL, I think. You can look up iodine. Look at the reviews and the people taking it. I promise you, your chances of getting breast cancer drops substantially when you get on iodine and you're taking iodine every day. You got to take it with selenium. It goes hand in hand. You can find selenium at CVS, Walgreens, anywhere, but you can't find iodine. I don't even think they have it behind the shelves anymore. I don't know why they took it off the shelves. I don't know if it's because it was so vital and that mineral was so important to the body. I believe it is a mineral. So if I'm wrong, I'm just not up to date. I haven't been reviewing my health stuff like I once did, but I got the information that I needed at that time. So women out there, look into that. Just by me bringing it up in this video makes me feel good, because I might save a lot of lives and also a lot of breast from being, taken away and stuff like that. So look into it. I think it's very helpful, but also look into other areas, not just iodine. I want you to look into eating properly and put natural foods into your body, and I promise you'll feel a lot better. For those out there that don't believe in that whole gluten thing, I wish I could eat bread and it made me feel good, but it makes me feel terrible. So gluten does not agree with me. And I've tried it, and I'll be out with my friends and they're like, oh, you want to have some drinks? I'll just have a beer. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to drink the beer. They give me the beer, they see a different Chris Register. They're like, dude, are you okay? I'm like, I can't do the beer, man. It makes me moody and it brings me down. I'm tired. Vodka and water, fine. Beer, nope. Give me pizza, boom, knocks me down. I feel terrible, and it messes me up for a while. It gives stomach problems too. So that when I'm gluten free, God, so much energy. I feel good. It actually, I think it even helps with your age, the way when your body ages and stuff. I'm big on detox. Detox your body. Take care of your health. If you don't have your health, you're gonna not have an enjoyable life. You're not gonna have a good life. So you gotta put it first. You gotta take care of yourself. Then you can help others, and then you can love and enjoy life like you should. So that pillar is the most important one. And I'll tell you why the love, which is the third one, is probably the hardest. Okay? We're going to go to the wealth one in a second here, but let me just tell you about love one real quick. The one on health, you can do yourself. You actually have more control, and you can get the results you want by you taking action. And it's just you and what you put in your body, right? Let's look at wealth. It's by you taking action, you making decisions, you managing money better, you having financial intelligence and making wise decisions and trying to grow. You got more control. Love. You can't just generate love yourself. I mean, you can cause love on somebody else, but if you want that in return, you need another person. And that another person, you have really no control of their feelings. You just gotta hope that they still continue to feel the same way, because unfortunately people change and things change and feelings change, and it's not even really their fault. It just happens. The reason why I like the color blue is just because I was built that way. The reason why this girl or this woman has an effect on me and this one doesn't, that's just how I built. So you don't always have a lot of control in that area, and I want you to understand that. Give me 1 second. So I told you a little bit about the health one real quick, and I can go into more detail later in some of my other videos, but I just want to kind of go over the whole 4 pillars thing so you can look at life in a different perspective. Let's look at wealth. You know, there's different ways to generate wealth, and I really highly recommend going after something that you're passionate about. And when I'm talking wealth monetary wise and generate income so you can actually live a good life and have a nice house and cars and stuff like that for transportation, or you know, eat good food and stuff like that. You know, you want to generate some good wealth. So I say you gotta first kind of put the money away. Say, you know what, forget the money, because a lot of people let money drag them through life, right? And you're going to end up at jobs you don't like. And you got to look at your life and say, I spent a lot of my time at a job. 60, 70, 80% of your time is mostly probably at a job. And if you're just doing it for money, you're probably going to be unhappy, because you probably didn't land the job that you really wanted, and you might be bored, and you're doing it because you're like, I need to make money, because the way you are programmed is that money is like this power, this overall God, when it's really not. It's not. And you shouldn't be chasing it. It should be chasing you. And once you figure out how to do that, your life, you'll be living a much better life. Sorry, I got a text message. I got a little distracted there. So look at your wealth in a way that whenever you go after it, I highly recommend saying, who am I? What do I like? What do I enjoy doing? And go in that direction. And even right away, if it doesn't bring you a lot of wealth, it'll come. And here's why. Because when you're passionate about something and you doing something that a dream or something that you really want, you're going to give your all. You're going to give more effort, and you're willing, and it's not going to even feel like work. It's going to feel like you're just living. And you're like, I'm waking up every day and I'm like, because I'm building a mobile phone application and I love it. It's not work to me. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy creating this and making this thing work and making it work for businesses and people to talk and network. I love it. It's different from me if I was working at some corporation and it was my job to, sell auto parts or something. If I was big into autos and cars and stuff, that might be okay for me, but I'm not really big into that side of vehicles. I like vehicles, but I just don't like them in that aspect. So that wouldn't be a job for me. But let's say somebody wants to give me decent money and give me $60,000, $70,000 a year to do that, and I can make that. And I'm doing it just for the money, but I'm lacking fulfillment and in an area of my life, because I'm just doing something for money, thinking that money's going to give me everything I want. It might make me pay for some of my bills and stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm not even probably living my purpose. I'm not doing what I probably should be doing, and a lot of it is fear. Fear gets in the way, because you're like, well, I don't want to leave this job because I won't be able to pay my bills, and even though I want to do that. And what happens is people end up living the weekends. You end up living your weekends. You work Monday through Friday and you're a slave. You work 80% of your life, and somebody's renting you, saying, hey, I want you to sit here every day. I want you to make those calls, and I'll pay you to sit here. And even if you're miserable, a lot of people still do it, but they're miserable. And you only have this much. Here's your life from the time you're born to the time you end. And if you're letting a job and you're letting money control you and make you unhappy, you got to think about life a little bit differently. You only have one life to live. At least that we know right now. No one's got any proof, really, no facts. So you got that one life. You need to live it the way you want it. You need to be happy doing it. And I promise you that if you do something that you're passionate about, and even if you don't see money right there, it'll come. It'll come. Go try to find your purpose and live. I'm actually investing a lot of my time into a mobile phone app that I haven't received a dime from for 3 years. And I put a lot of money. I go out and I'm a real estate agent, and I'm selling houses, and that commission is paying my bills, and the whatever's left over, boom, right on my app. I'm taking some big risks right now, but I'm willing to do it. And you know what? I feel good. I feel so happy, because I can go buy the nice car, and I've done it before, and that feeling goes away. And I realize, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Just run around and make this money and then buy cars and stuff? There's more to life than that. There's more to life. There's something you're supposed to be doing. And a lot of times, that area, that career that you're looking for wealth and money wise, you shouldn't be doing that job that you're at. You should be you should be doing something else. You should be living your purpose, something you're passionate about, not that job that just gives you money, and then you go home and then maybe you're unhappy when you get, when Monday comes. Well, people, the weekend's over, Monday's here, I gotta go back to work. If you're saying that, you're the people I'm talking about. What are you doing? It's okay if you're at an entry-level job and you're coming up in life and you're actually doing that for right now, but you should be trying to work on something else that you're more passionate about and it's more meaningful in your life. Okay, so that column is very important in a way that it actually, I think there's a lot of people you spend a lot of time on wealth, and but I think your purpose is kind of that you could be going after is kind of locked up in that, and you might be working at a job for the wrong reasons for wealth. But look at your life this way in these 4 areas. Grade yourself from 1 to 10 and divide it by 4, since there's 4 categories, and you'll see what kind of life you're living. If you're not getting the wealth you want, or maybe you are, but you're not having the right job, so you're a little bit like, well, I got good wealth, but I don't feel really good about it. Well, you might be like a level 5, and your health might be a 7, but then your life might be a 0, and your fulfillment might be, I do a little bit of things here and there for myself and hang out with my friends, go to the beach, or whatever that makes you fulfilled for those times. It's just a short feeling. Divide that by 4, and that's your average life that you're living. And if you're living a 5, you're probably living an average life. If you're at a 4, 3, I think you need to work on some of those areas if you're unhappy, and you'll increase your life. You got to take action and work on those areas. If you're at a 6 or 7, please tell others, help others. You figured something out. If you're living, you're like, you know what? My health is a 7, my wealth is a 7, my love life is a 7, and I'm fulfilled. Mine is a 7. Please share that with others. Help others figure it out, because you obviously figured yours out and you know how to do it. And I highly recommend you giving back and trying to help people. I think that's really cool if you could do that, because there's others out there trying to make things happen. So we'll go on to the third one, and I'm going to go into more depth in some other videos on these 4 areas, these 4 pillars, and so you'll know a little bit more about it. But let's talk about the love one. I'm no different than anybody else. That's tough sometimes. I've been rejected. So all my fellows out there, there was a girl, and if she's watching this video, it's funny, she probably knows who she is. But I was really interested in her, and this is how my life is right now, and it's tough, and I gotta let you know that it's never gonna be easy. I don't care who you are. You gotta keep a positive mind. You gotta reprogram yourself and have a good mindset to push through this stuff. But I have to fight for my health to have good health. And I have to fight for good wealth. And then you got to fight for your love life too. And you got to fight to find that and to get that in your life, because if you find it, it's amazing. And you get all those things going, your life's rocking. And that's the life you want to go after. So going back to there's probably that, if she's watching this, I mean, it could be years later, she'll know who it is. She knows who she is. I've never given a woman this much time, this much effort into asking for something so simple. And she wouldn't give it to me. And all I asked for is just 5 minutes of your time, just talk to you. And people watching this video be like, some girl, no, that's a bad person and stuff. Who knows what she seemed like a nice person. I was really interested in her, but she wouldn't give me 5 minutes of her time, maybe because she was scared, didn't see any value in me, maybe. Thought I was a risk, or I wasn't a person that she could see herself. She didn't even know me, really. She doesn't know who the real me is, and maybe she's gonna know now, because if she watches these videos and see who I am, and but it'll probably be too late, and but it's fine. If she does and it comes back around, wow, that's cool too. But I'm only explaining this because I want you to know that I've been rejected, and I'm sure plenty of everyone's probably been rejected, and I think it's okay to take those risks and put yourselves out there. I almost think everyone should have heartbreak at some time. I think everyone should go through that, so you could see the value in another person and know that you should appreciate them more, and vice versa. And a good book that I think I was actually starting to read, but I read a little bit and I learned a little bit of how it works, is the 5 love languages. There's, I think, a bunch of different ones, but man, that really tells you on how to operate relationships and what to look for and how things work. And once again, man, if you're educating yourself and you're getting this information, you can become a better operator at life in all these areas. In health, learn about it, become better at it. More information is going to make you very, very powerful. Same with your wealth. Learn about wealth, about management, like what you're doing wrong. Think about these things. One of the greatest things I think everyone should do, and I love it because we all have one, is a mind. We could think. I love thinking. You can figure out so much, and you can do so much, and you can visualize so much and create so much. Gosh, the mind's such a powerful thing, and I think everyone should use it, and I don't think we all use it to its fullest. We neglect it, and it's so powerful when we got it. And then the whole love thing, you're going to get rejected, but put yourself out there. The 5 love languages, I'll give you a little rundown about it. We all have like I call them buttons, like, okay, that girl's hitting my buttons. Like there's what the five love languages is about is you got words of affirmation, you got physical touch, you got acts of services, you got gift giving, and then you got quality time. I think that was all 5. And you got to ask yourself 2 things. One, what do you like receiving? And then look at your significant other and say, are they doing that for you? And maybe you want to communicate. Communication's big. I'm really big on communication, especially in relationships. So many times things didn't need to go that way, or somebody broke up with somebody because they didn't know something, or they didn't communicate. If you're bothered by something, go up and communicate to the person, and vice versa. Okay? And this is where you're going to use it as far as the 5 love languages, because if you like somebody to give you quality time, I think the other person should know that. And not everyone's going to naturally want to do that and give you quality time, but if you tell them that's something big, well, at least you guys can work on that. And if not, and it can't be worked on, well, maybe that partnership isn't a good one, and you probably should look for somebody else. And you might find that person that just, wow, this person makes me feel good. Well, what are they doing? They're probably hitting your main buttons. Like, we'll use me for an example. Do I like gift giving? No, it doesn't do anything for me. I once had this one girl, she was bringing me cookies and stuff, and it just didn't do anything. But that was one of her things that she did. One of her love languages is she liked to give gifts, and that doesn't really do it for me. I am obviously a physical touch type of person, and I'm a words of affirmation. You tell me, Chris, you're great, I like that stuff, or you look good today and stuff, whatever. Things like that do a lot more for me than gift giving, acts of services, and what's the other one? The quality time. I like quality time. It's probably my 3rd. I think it goes words of affirmation. It's my number 1. Physical touch, and probably quality time, and then acts of services, and then my last one's gift giving. So that's what you got to ask yourself. And both of you, you and your partner need to ask yourself, what do you like to receive, and tell your other partner that. And then vice versa, you need to also look at yourself and say, what am I giving out? Am I giving out what matches their buttons? You might be giving out what matches your partner's buttons, but what they're doing is not doing it for you. So communicate that. I'm really big on communication. I think that helps out. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information on those 3 main pillars. The last one, fulfillment. I think a lot of the 3, when you're doing well in those 3 pillars, I think your life becomes more fulfilled and more satisfying. But you also get fulfillment in just like being around friends, doing activities and hobbies that you like. Listen to music and things like that can help you give you fulfillment. Those are mostly short-term little highs in life that you can go and do. But if you want that life to hang around and that life to be really good, work on those pillars. Go to the gym and make yourself, love the way you look. That's going to make you feel good and raise your confidence, and you're living life. You're like, oh, I love the way I look. I look great and I feel great. And then, you're generating some wealth, and you're doing it in a job that you're passionate about. And you're like, I love going to work. Come on, Monday. A lot of people are like, TGIF. Well, was it TGIM? Thank God it's Monday. That's I had this one girl I met who was like a real big into, like, she was an entrepreneur and trying to go after things and make things happen. And she used to always like post on Facebook, TGIM. Thank God it's Monday, because a lot of people hate that, and she didn't, because she was doing something she loved and she was passionate about. And I want you guys to all do the same. Find those things in life. And then the love thing, man. Just think about that partner that you're looking for. Look at why they're making you feel that special way and what they do, and see if you're doing it for them. And if it's not, communicate. You know what? If you guys can't make it work, you got to separate. I know loneliness. People do things all the time. They jump into relationships because of loneliness. They go and get married and stuff too quickly because they see other people doing it, or they do these things thinking that it'll help bring them together. And I'm telling you, it's wrong. It's not going to fix anything. And a lot of you watching this are probably like, you know what? He's right. I did these things, and they did not change my relationship. By me having a kid with that person, it made it it was the same. By me getting married, it was the same. Nothing changed. No, it's not going to change. You're inside. Who you are and the way you are is what's going to stick there. That's who it's going to be unless you change that. But communicating is very important. Excuse me. But I just wanted to give you guys a little rundown on those 3 pillars, and also the 4th one, fulfillment and happiness, how they all kind of play into each other. Give you guys a different perspective on life, and help you guys, look at things in a different way. And Ty Lopez helped me out a lot. And these are some of the ways I look at things. And this is how I live my life. So I'm not just telling you guys stuff that, I hear, because I've gathered a lot of information from a lot of books I read and a lot of information to help me become a better operator at life. And I want to pass that stuff along to you. So I'm going to be sending out some more videos, some helpful stuff, because as the days go on and as the weeks, the months, the years go by, I'm obtaining more and more information, and I want to share that to help you guys live a better life. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video, and it was nice meeting everyone. If you don't know who I am, Chris Register, Christopher Register, whatever you want to call me. My friends call me C-Reg, all different types of things. I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. And yeah, if you want more and you want to reach out, and feel free to send me an email. You go on my website, ChristopherRegister.com, and you can contact me there. And I'm just a normal guy. I'm different. I'm no different than you. Just a person that breathes oxygen and eats food. But I have a want in life, and I love helping people out, and I love making things happen. I love seeing success. Because focusing on anything other than positive areas and growth is, to me, I don't see any benefit of it. So I like to look at all the things that we can get and all the things we can achieve and all the great experiences we can share and things like that to make life better. And hearing the stories of others achieving greatness doesn't bother me. It makes me feel good. And if I can help out in any way by making a positive impact, by making your brain think and see something differently to change your life, that makes me feel good. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and hope you all have a good one and keep on chasing after that success. See ya.